I better use a panoramic camera.
And with any luck. Oh,
I gotta
stand
say, this is
by.
fun. Pardon?
Stand by.
All right.
All right,
The red
everybody
light
tense
is
up.
about to go on.
Pre-show jitters and all that.
Do I have 10 seconds to throw up?
No, you can throw up for another 120.
I got to eat something more first.
You don't want to. Oh yeah, you don't want to. Well, no. Okay, stop.
I don't want to waste any of my barf time.
I know what you
mean. Are we live yet?
57 seconds.
Oh.
Plenty of time to tense up and barf.
Yeah, right.
Now, this is a good intro, isn't it?
We should be putting this on the program.
It is.
Oh.
Yeah. Okay. Well,
my knees hurt.
It's hard to wait.
Crawling.
Go. I bought some knee pads. I forgot to bring them.
The older I get, the more I think I should have wear a helmet all the time.
Yeah, wear
I never know when I might fall.
Wear padded clothes and a helmet.
Like a football player.
All right. Are you ready, Harry? Well, good morning.
Good morning to you.
All right.
Welcome there was to a little everybody. Bit of delay in my response.
All two viewers, welcome.
Mean I'm not fully attentive.
Here we are. Of course, we normally have our coffee crawls on Saturday morning, but I had to do a thing yesterday, so we're doing it today on Sunday. But be careful. Make sure you join us next Saturday at 10 o'clock. We're going to try to do this every Saturday at 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
And like that. Hey, Harry. I really like that hat and that shirt. How do you get something like that?
Oh, you can go to the merch link.
Aren't they lucky?
Yeah. And I might point out that there are now more colors of the baseball cap.
Oh yeah, plenty
than white.
More.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh.
So I just got a blue one.
And we have, the golf shirts and the hats, just adding more products all the time.
Yeah. Maybe. Oh yeah, right. We shouldn't exactly. Anyway, you don't want to run down the whole list of the ones you were reading off to me.
Enough commercials. Let's go immediately to the begging for subscriptions.
From commercials to begging.
It seems like a commercial, but it's not really.
What a great program. Kurt writes the script every week for this.
Script? Oh, I should have thought of that. So, here you go. As you know, we've been taking pictures along each stop of the red line. Oh, yeah, there we go.
Is that an order for some merch?
Head is, yes. Anyway, enough commercial. So as you know, we've been taking
commercial.
We've been taking pictures at each stop along the Metro line, the red line for the Metrolink in LA. And this week we made it all the way to Pershing Square, which is almost to Union Station, which is our last stop on this project. And did we mention there's a book available at the end of this? That sounds like a commercial too. Enough.
I think we mention it every week.
Let's move ahead. Is there a book? Let's move ahead to the actual pictures. Okay.
There's a
okay. Oh, by the way,
charming young lady. What?
I meant to. Preparation is everything, right? We had a change of equipment for this particular tour. I used a 35 millimeter film camera, Canon AE1 program, and Harry used, do you have it handy?
I
A
do.
plastic lens Holga camera. Talk a little bit about the camera while I go get my program.
Okay. What happened to you? You just left me? Anyway, this is about $40. You can get it on Amazon or probably at your local camera store or B&H Photo. And as you'll see from some of the pictures I took, it takes amazingly good pictures. And as I went over some, what do you call them? Chat rooms related to the Holga, and they were, there's Curts.Camera. And the chatters were all saying, well, you have to be careful about light leaks and paint the inside of the camera matte black. But I haven't done any of those things. And it occurred to me that if you do all those things, there's no point having a Holga, because then you're just going to take the same pictures you'd take with a much more expensive.
You're just going to get boring good pictures.
Yeah, who wants that? Well, you can take boring bad pictures and not do anything except put film in the camera.
You screw them up with a bad camera and they turn into art.
Yeah, right. And if nobody likes them, you just say, well, it's the camera's fault.
Yeah, it's the camera, but not me. My situation, I used a very high-speed black and white film, 3200 ISO, and it was very grainy, very contrasty, kind of an experiment for me. So we'll see what happens. Anyway, this is the Holga.
Yeah. Kurt and I were talking earlier. When I scan the negatives, I frame it so I get in the side of the film. And then when I take the scan over to Photoshop, I can either leave that in or crop it out. In this one, I left it in. Thank you, Linda. It must be the hat, huh?
It's the hat.
And we were also saying I'm using Ilford HP5 film. That when it comes out of the developer from the Holga camera, it's pretty flat. But when you put all this in Photoshop, you can bring up the contrast in ways that don't lose the material in the shadows. And if you notice the darker bar over to the right of the image, that was a photographer error. I didn't put quite enough developer in the developing tank. So that part of the film got less development than the rest of the image.
It only got the splash from the agitation, right?
Yeah, right. But it's a pretty shocking looking image. So
yeah. Okay, here's an example of the 3200. You can really see the grain and the contrast here, which is really good for some of the pictures. I want to say a good handful of my pictures I think were unusable because they were used out in the bright sun with a red filter. Now this is the same situation, but apparently not as contrasty as some of them. But it's a nice look once. Well, for me, it was a nice look once I got used to it a little bit. It does look vintage.
Yeah. And you're using the red filter here. Did you say that?
Red filter here with the the beauty of the red filter is it knocks down the exposure 3 stops, which you need with that sensitive film, and it kind of helped. I thought it was going to be great. It was okay. Still getting used to it.
It's pretty dramatic.
Yeah, it is.
The contrast.
Yeah. And
this is the Holga camera again.
Yeah.
I like the image, the filter across the filter, the mural across the street. And again, it's a very flat negative, but when you run it through Photoshop, you can control the contrast.
Yeah, it does have a nice kind of soft look. I mean, it's not unpleasant at all.
Thank you, Linda. Do Linda's comments come up on the
everybody
on
gets
the
to
public
see 'em.
version?
Yeah.
Oh, great.
So Clifton's Cafeteria, boy, I remember this place from when I was a kid, and it's gone in and out of ownership and everything. I think it's currently closed at least as a restaurant. I can't remember the details, but at least it's still here, and it's a historic building in a historic place.
Thank you, Linda. Yeah, I'll be sending Linda a check at the end of the.
Thanks, Mom.
Right. Yeah.
Okay, look at this.
Yeah. Back to my usual kind of picture. This is in a bridal shop, and I don't know, these very elaborate bridal dresses always seem a little on the over the top side, and those are corsages, and I guess they've got to be uh, fake flowers because they're wrapped in cellophane
Mm.
and on the shelf, and everything else behind the dress is I guess bridal paraphernalia.
You can almost imagine a head on that dress stand.
Yeah, the head of the tequila drinking Day of the Dead. But I don't want to betray my attitude toward being married. So.
The Los Angeles Theater, boy, this is. I'm just fascinated by all the old buildings in downtown Los Angeles, but particularly the theaters. The Los Angeles Theater was the last of these opulent movie palaces on Broadway, and it's Broadway was not a coincidence that it's named Broadway, because all the theaters in Los Angeles were kind of inspired by New York City. But the Los Angeles was the last of these and the most elegant of these theaters. And we went by, and there was I don't want to say grumpy looking, but a stern looking elderly gentleman acting as guard. And so I took this picture and then went over to talk to him, and said, "Is any chance we can go?" And he said, "Oh, no, we can't. I can't let you do that." And about that time, a guy came out through the door and was carrying some equipment or something like that. And so I kind of stuck my head in and talked to the guy who was carrying the equipment and said, "What's going on?" "Oh, we're loading." Apparently, so anyway, long story short, they were having a show there that day, and so finally I got to stick my head in. And by the time I finished talking to the guard, he was going, "Oh, come back next week. I'll let you sneak in." So we made friends with
So
the
we know
guard.
what our stop's going to be next week.
Yeah, that's true. But boy, sticking my head in that lobby, it was just it's just beautiful, beautiful. And you would think these places would be, I don't know about derelict, but it's nice to know there's life in them.
Yeah.
This goes back
Here.
to the teens and early 20s, these theaters.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah. I just said, Kurt, get over there by that poster and
I didn't do a very good
let me
job
take your picture.
mimicking her pose, did I? I don't look as good as she
Uh,
does.
It's the camera.
It's
a cheap
that
camera.
darn Holga.
Yeah, right. Next week we'll go back here and I'll bring a bunch of pearls and jewelry. And if you put the pearls and jewelry on, it'll be just fine. I like this picture a lot.
I got to say, by the way, that looking through Amazon, I saw you can buy a Holga lens for your $3,000 digital camera.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you alerted me to that. What I want to do is buy I want to buy a $16 lens that makes the Holga pictures look like a $4,000 camera.
Something really funny about that. Oh boy! Hey, look at that.
Maybe I've mentioned Bruce Spear before.
But
he's a friend of mine from long ago, and he's an avid photographer, and he goes takes his own photo walks in Germany, and there are always fences and buildings and trees and trucks, probably much better organized than this, but I just like the jumble of things.
Yeah, the jumble.
Put a camera
the
frame around.
disorganization that you notice right away.
Yeah.
Overlapping textures.
Yeah. Good. Thank you. I'm taking notes.
Okay, I gotta say, this is my favorite picture out of the whole roll that I took. I just snapped it. Again, this 3200 film. It's really good in low light, and you can see the grain and the contrast and everything. But here, it really suits the picture. And I had
Yeah,
to mention that this reminded me of Edward Hopper. Uh,
yeah.
the, oh, I'm
Your Edward Hopper moment.
not trying to compare it to anything that he did, but
Oh, go ahead.
yeah, I just that one I like. All right.
What struck me about this is it looks like the ATM is defunct here,
Yeah.
and the two phone booths are also defunct. In the midst of all this autos, and I guess that's a bus bench over to the side.
Yeah, looks like it. Yeah, all the electronics are gone.
Yeah. This whole part of LA, it's like the theaters. They seem like they're defunct, but on the inside, they're really still opulent and usable.
That's
Which is
that's
more
right.
than
That's a good comparison. They look like yeah, deceiving. And the Palace right across the street from the Los Angeles Theater. This was originally built in, I think, 1917, and it was originally the Orpheum Theater. You can still see Orpheum above the marquee. And in 1926, the Orpheum moved down the street. They renamed it a couple of times, and today here it stands as the Palace. But it's another one of those magnificent movie theaters. And boy, oh boy, I'm just fascinated by these things. And I
imagine back to the time when this was a thriving nightlife part of the city, and people are going back and forth from theater to theater.
Oh yeah, and from our experience earlier on in downtown Los Angeles, the fact that the streetcars and the everything going up and down the streets, this was like, top shelf stuff downtown Los Angeles, and going down to the theater district, they're trying to get it going again, and I hope it works. These theaters are still surprisingly. I think the Orpheum recently had, I can't remember who it was, but a current artist was performing at the Orpheum. So that's very exciting to me. I hope it continues. But sort of
and this is all right on that red line stop, so it's
this is all
they're perfectly situated for convenient access.
Right. Yeah, Harry and I, the farther away we get from North Hollywood, where we start, the less time we have to go shooting. So we're down to like 15. We're down to like a half an hour. Got to be back for other things. Okay, well, let's see.
My knees don't suffer as much from the crawling.
Yeah, less crawling.
Less crawling, more coffee. This is, I think this is probably the same bridal shop.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a lot more visible over on the right as the picture taker than I usually try to be. But this seemed like
homage.
Yeah, a perfect situation for a more aggressive approach.
This was close, in my opinion. I came close to what I was trying to do. I really like the contrasty clouds in the contrasty building. Unfortunately, I could not get the building on the right or the side of the shiny building to come out any better than this. Otherwise, it would have been pretty cool.
Yeah, these contrasts are pretty extreme.
Yeah, it's pretty extreme.
And in the
using a red filter to knock the exposure down didn't help the contrast either. Alvin Klein.
Yeah. Every once in a while, I see an ad poster that's been ripped aside and shredded that looks photogenic.
The duplicity.
And that the bright light up in the upper left is the. I think this roll, I didn't have the camera completely closed for the first 2 or 3 shots, and when I realized it, I closed it. And
so
this one,
this is at the beginning. Of the roll?
This is maybe the fourth picture on the roll. By that time, I'd closed the camera, so it still had a little of the light leaking. But hey,
Very
It's a
Holga-esque.
Holga. Yeah, right.
Okay. Now there's an example of a picture I took, and it was just unusable with all the grain and contrast. I couldn't. Totally horrible.
This it's an inadvertent double exposure.
Yeah.
I'm trying to
I can
remember to wind the film forward after each exposure, but I
Yeah.
don't always do that. But I
I
thought this came out okay. It looks like she's kind of skating through a dream world.
Yeah, she's skating to serve food to the wedding dress on the left.
Yeah.
Here you go.
Yeah, right.
Oh, another Clifton's.
Yeah, my grandmother used to take me to Clifton's.
Yeah. Yeah, you know, these buildings are so photogenic. Oh, look at that.
Hey,
You know,
there he is.
I didn't notice the hand in the background until just this minute.
Oh yeah. I thought, yeah, I that's deliberate. I saw that mural back there and thought, oh
good one.
man, I got to take this.
Oh, so here
And
we are at Starbucks, right? We go in for coffee. They have no coffee. No coffee today.
No hot drinks. No hot drinks.
No hot drink. Yeah, coffee machine broken. Our one
Yeah.
coffee machine is broken.
Yeah.
Oh,
No backup systems.
no. Anyway, that's
But
my red
I have
filter.
to say, a cold drink didn't bother me.
Yeah, no, it was good. It was a good day for iced tea. It was already getting hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, there's the trusty
I
red
like
filter.
that picture a lot.
Yeah,
You
I look happy.
You look happy. I've never seen anybody so happy about a red filter.
Oh, I really like red filters. And iced tea. Meant to do my homework on this building. I really like it. We'll shoot it again next week. I think we're going back to the same spot next week. We didn't use up all our opportunities. But
Yeah.
look at the
And
look
that,
at the work
that guy
on that
in the
building.
theater invited us back.
Oh boy, I just can't imagine. You know, back in the heyday, this must have been really something to see.
Oh yeah. Well, this is, and I think we were saying Wednesday. This is like an old town L.A.
Yeah,
except it's never been designated as an old town.
yeah. Historic. They do call some of the districts historic.
Oh yeah.
Now, this is the picture. You can see me taking my picture in the bottom right corner, but this, and it was Dog Day, National Dog Day, and I didn't get, didn't get this dog at least. This is a good one.
Did you get him?
Yeah, but it's
dog?
horrible. It's just horrible.
Oh, yeah.
You can't even tell it's a dog. It's a white spot and a bunch of grain. But yours did good. Your little Hogan.
Grain on the leash.
Yeah. He looks pretty happy.
Yeah. I mean, he was posing so eagerly that I just couldn't help taking the shot.
Mm-hmm. Another happy little dog.
Yeah. And this one, I was imagining that spigot on the left is the source of the perfumes.
That's where you get your
you
perfume.
go by with your you go by with your 5-gallon jug.
Yeah, bring your own wrench.
Yeah. Yeah, your 5-gallon jug and a wrench, and you fill it up with
Your
perfume.
business.
Man, I do have some 5-gallon jugs for next week. And a wrench. Oh no.
Next week for sure.
Yeah.
All right, this was Kramer, his
He's a
name,
cutie.
and again, this is not a picture I would have tried to take, but after looking at it and trying to pretend it's art, I sort of like the look.
Well, I think you photoshopped the ears.
Yeah, it looks like it, huh? He could definitely hear good. But he was a real sweet little dog. I think some of those little dogs, particularly Chihuahuas, they get a little jumpy. And this guy, he just, I went over to pet him, and he cuddled right up, and he was very, very cool little dog. Nice. And no caption here, just it's a jewelry district. And, I like the cloud. The red filter did bring out the clouds a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't mind the grain.
I'm
Looks kind of
surprised it didn't
vintage.
darken the sky down a little more.
Yeah. Could have, yeah. I tried to cut off. I didn't want to crop the bottom too much but I did want to cut off some of the cars to kind of add to the vintage look. I needed, you need the street for context, but didn't want to make the cars quite as obvious. Okay, now when I developed this roll of film, I looked at that and I went, "Oh man, there's goobers all over this negative." And then I realized this was a ceramic dog. It was a plaster, and his lips had been chipped off. And it wasn't until this morning that I noticed, and I think it may be intentional, that's, his master's voice, the RCA logo.
Yes, right.
Yeah, well, I'm a little slow, but there he is,
Yeah,
listening his
yeah.
boomboxes.
How come his owner never takes him to the groomer? He'd be handsome if he went to the pet store every once in a while.
No, the Palace. I could take 100 pictures of these theaters.
Yeah, they're handsome buildings.
I think I have. And the obligatory terminal picture. Now here's another example of low light, low contrast, and no red filter, where that P3200 film actually worked pretty darn good, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And okay, this was Harry and I were standing there, and of course, got to take a picture of the dog. And so I go over and I talk to this gal here, and we ended up chatting it up. We had a mutual friend, Barbara Morrison, and had a great conversation. And the picture actually came out good.
Yeah.
So very happy with that.
Hi, doggy.
Hey, and there you go. How about that?
Oh my goodness.
Just like that.
Yeah. Now we're ready to get out and do it again.
Do it again on Wednesday. Hope you can join us on Saturday, 10 o'clock. We try to do this regularly on Saturday at 10 o'clock. And don't forget to subscribe, help our little channel out. And if you really enjoy our our hats and our shirts, it's available in the description below, as they say. And I think that ought to do it.
Yeah, by the way, I think Kurt should get lots of credit for designing these merch items. They look quite handsome. Very
if you
elegant.
like it, I'll take the credit. If you think it really sucks, somebody else did it. Okay, well, I think that's going to wrap it up for this time. Thanks, Harry. Can't wait for Wednesday.
Thank you, Kurt. Always fun. Yeah, see you Wednesday. See you Tuesday for music, Wednesday for music, crawling.
Wednesday for cameras. All right.
Yeah.
Thanks, everybody.
All right. Yeah, take care.
Appreciate it.